other men, peer-to-peer. It's a community online collection. It's called Tethr. Joining us now is Addison Brasil, the creator of Tethr, also joining my co-host for the night, Harvey Levin. Addison, thank you. Congratulations on the app and welcome.
Thank you so much for being here.
So talk to me about your story first. You had a lot of different family tragedy, your brother, your father, there was also a car accident, and that led you to this realization. Talk to us a little about what happened to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I've gotten very used to is sharing my story and seeing the response to that. And I had the unusual experience of losing my brother to a brain tumor at 19 years old. I was with him along his side during his 4-year battle with a brain tumor, and just really got to see how sort of the effect of that on my entire family unit. Following his death, I started a foundation for children and families with brain tumors. And then about 3 years later, I found my dad after his suicide. And it was a very quick turnaround, and I wasn't expecting the loss. And it was very, very traumatic to be there and to lose him in that way. And sort of that sent me off in my 20s, as you can imagine, just looking for every outlet possible to really tend to my mental health and deal with this compounded grief and sort of make sense of being the only boy left in my big family by 23 years old. Sort of on the cusp of that, through coaching and all the mental health modalities, of really thriving, I was in an accident in Los Angeles that killed a dear friend of mine and left me relearning to walk and honestly at that point make sense of life and even operate in the world. I mean, it just, the loss combined with the pain and just everything really tested my mental health and my ability to survive to the greatest limits at that time.
So what is Tethr?
Tethr is an app that's fully downloadable on the App Store, and it's a men's mental health and well-being platform. We work to help guys find purpose and meaning through community, peer programming, and 24/7 access to other guys who get it and are willing to honor the journey. And my co-founders and I, we really are working together to change the face of masculinity, by letting men know that struggling doesn't make them any less of a man. It simply makes them human. And if you look at it statistically, it shows just how prevalent it is, especially now with the pandemic exacerbating that.
Harvey?
Addison, I love your app. I think it's a great idea. But I was thinking about this, and men who have trouble talking about their feelings because they think it makes them look weaker, to me, on a level, you would think that they would fear being judged more by men than maybe by women. So why are they opening up to men who all have that kind of feeling that it shows weakness?
You know what? And we had those thoughts too. And when we went back, my co-founder, who also struggled a lot with mental health, when we all went back as co-founders and looked at our own journey, we were trying to piece together what was the piece in these suicidal depressions and in this trauma that kept us here. And it was like the community and the life-changing moments where when another man admitted to us that they didn't want to live, but they didn't want to die. When we admitted that to each other, it changed both of our lives. And so when we looked at the research actually shows that men are more likely to partake if it's modeled by other men. You got to go back to like the mechanic metaphor. You know, you want to know who's used the mechanic before. Can you trust him? Has another man experienced this before? And for whatever reason, men like to experientially learn together. So tether together and take on the issues as a team.
So how do you begin the conversation, especially for that macho guy who thinks, I don't need help?
You know, one thing that I've found, I can only speak for myself, but if you're looking to start a conversation, if you want to create a safe space, I mean, that's really all we're doing. I share something that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And whenever I start by sharing, it immediately becomes a safe space. I get to, in addition to obviously grieving the losses that I've been through, I have this superpower of being able to share those losses, and it suddenly makes the atmosphere safe for any man to say anything. So I always say to pass that on. If you're ever trying to start a conversation, especially about mental health with a man or with another man, just share one thing that they wouldn't expect. Just share one thing about how you're feeling, and you'd be amazed how quickly that door opens up.
All right.
Sounds like there's some similarity here with AA, that there are some similar kind of, touch points.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Addison, for the work you do. I guess people can
that's really
download that
interesting.
right now. Tethr?
Yep, Tethr, Tethr. We're on the App Store.
Congratulations. It's such important work, especially this New Year's week when a lot of people are doing some reflection and can use an online hug, if you will. All
And
right,
COVID
Addison,
times.
keep it
Yeah.
up. All right.
Yeah.
Coming
Thank
up.
you so much.